Welcome to sermon number 2. Before I delve into the details of some of this religious stuff, let me begin by giving a rough overview. You could say that all things that have an occurrence also come from a seed. In the case of religion, you could say that it has two fundamental roots. On the one hand, we have the teachings of Moses with the Old Testament, Jesus, the New Testament, Muhammad with the Quran, all of which are based in the Abrahamic God. On the other hand, we have the religions of the East that have their root in the ancient Vedic knowledge. When we look at the Abrahamic religions, what we see is that they degenerate over time, and then a new prophet arrives with a new teaching to try and bring back some of the message. It is the nature of human beings to continuously worship these arrivals as prophets and messengers of God, instead of paying attention to the message. And often the message itself gets distorted. I believe they were just normal human beings. If we turn our attention to the Eastern philosophy, we find that the branches there are of a similar disposition. What we see is the arrival of modern yoga and New Age we create reality Buddhism. When we examine the philosophical content, what we see is there is no mention of a divine order. The art of yoga has been reduced to Ashtanga, where most adepts are not even the slightest aware of what the word yoga actually means or its purpose. Only a brief perusal through some of those sutras will reveal quite clearly that there are beings of another dimension that exist outside of their tiny, puny little realms. When we examine the similarities between Buddhism and yoga, we see they use the same types of symbolism. The lotus flower, upon which Lord Buddha sits, as well as a plethora of Indian goddesses and gods. If you were to ask a very wise man, perhaps he might say that every religion has its root in just one place, Atlantis. And whilst there have been many people who have tried to search the oceans for the sunken city, in my view, nobody as of yet has found out the truth, which I will come to in a later discourse. But for now, we have considered the religions to enough of a degree to draw some basic conclusions. From the seed of Atlantis, two roots have emerged. From the pharaonic tribes, which were destroyed by the Hebrews when they fell into corruption, and the ancient Vedas, which held knowledge of number. From this, the branches have spread out and now have diversified in their teachings, each only holding a small part of the story. A story that has yet to be told.